you feel that starring in horror movies has made you immune to being scared by that?
Oh no! I mean, listen. When I saw the Swedish let the right one in, oh, I had to throw those underwear out.
Would you say that that's? Would you say that that's like what does it for you? Like that's what you would consider the scariest movie that you've seen? That's what scares Freddy?
No. I mean, I liked Insidious. There was stuff in Insidious I liked. There's a couple of the paranormals. There's one of the early new sort of found footage exorcism films.
What do you think of Sam Raimi's soon-to-come Poltergeist remake?
I'm really looking forward to it. You know, I worked with that actress on the original V. She was sort of our Anne Frank, the girl that played the older sister in Poltergeist. And, you know, I'm very close to that film because Tobe Hooper directed it, and I've worked for Tobe 4 times now. The Mangler, you know, the Stephen King movie I did for Tobe, and I did a great HBO project with Tobe called Masters of Horror. We were nominated for the Cable Ace Award. And so I'm very, very fond of Poltergeist, and I think that Sam is the right guy for that.
I mean, the original's PG, the new one's going to be PG-13, so we're expecting a little bit more of the Sam Raimi gore thrown into it.
Well, I don't know if it's gore so much as just, you know, look at
the effects.
Tobe had to argue a little bit with the studio and maybe Mr. Spielberg about having parents smoke dope in the original Poltergeist. Sam,
which we hope happens to the next one.
So now we know Sam can go down that road a little gentler and easier. And no, what I like about Sam, and I think that Sam really has this on a level that few other people have, is Sam understands a different kind of wink and a different kind of humor in horror. And I really love that about his work. And I love Sam going big. I love Sam Spider-Man. I love Sam going big, but I also love Sam, you know, going intimate, and I think I'm really interested in seeing Poltergeist because it's really a family drama.
It is. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Rivals Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
Which is my personal favorite.
And I think it needs to be claustrophobic. You know.
I really have high hopes for it.
I don't want to see suburban USA in a sinkhole. I think it needs to be self-contained and claustrophobic.
What's the last dream that you remember having?
Oh, I have stress dreams all the time. And you know what mine was? And it's weird because I don't know exactly what play it is, but I just had one the other day, and I literally was backstage. I was younger, and I'd hidden a script backstage in a theater so that I could just check my lines. And I heard my cue, and I couldn't go get the script. It had been moved. And it was that continuous loop nightmare. You know, where I kept hearing my cue and waiting to go on, and I couldn't think of my line, and I wanted to just check my script. Because once you're out there, everything clicks in when you're under the lights. But I had that dream again, and it's like, you know, it's like not studying for the algebra test, stress dream, where your gut gets all clenched up. This one was about a play, and I've had them about movies. I've had them about TV shows, about guest stars. You know, you get a guest star role on a Friday night, and you have to show up on Monday and know 3 pages of dialogue perfectly, and you're working with like somebody huge on a big show, and you've never worked on that show, and you're the new kid in town, the new kid on the block, and that's hard to do for an actor. And so I still have those bad dreams. Those are my nightmares. You know, I guess you call them stress dreams.
Fair enough. Now, speaking of running around under the lights and on the set, how uncomfortable is it wearing a sweater through 6, 7
It's more
movies?
uncomfortable for my co-stars because I get real stinky. Because we sweat, actors sweat, and I'm doing stunts, and I'm sealed into that makeup, and I'm under the lights, so I feel more for my actors, you know, because thank God it was cotton. I think it was never polyester, so I was okay. I wore a polyester shirt once on a movie I did with Richard Gere, playing a kind of disco asshole, and I've never been more uncomfortable in my life than choosing that wardrobe. And it looked like the wardrobe, kind of Saturday Night Fever wardrobe that my character would wear. But that was the most uncomfortable I've ever been in any wardrobe.
In 2010, they did a Nightmare on Elm Street remake, since we were talking about the Poltergeist remake that Sam Raimi has coming out shortly. It was a little bit of a different vibe from the original feel. A lot of people kind of panned it because it seemed a little bit more enthusiastic on things like rape, and was one of kind of the underlying topics of it. How did you feel? Did you watch it? How did it make you feel seeing it versus?
I just think that movie was too soon. I think the remake was too soon. and not for any reason critical of the movie, and I can be critical of the movie, I guess, if I wanted to nitpick. I love all those actors. I've worked with some of them. Some of them are, I've worked with more than once. And I'm a big fan of others like Connie Britton and Jackie. I'm a big fan of Jackie's. I think that Hollywood steps on its own toes a lot. They had just done, flat screens had just gotten less expensive in 2010. And Blu-ray, DVD box sets had just been released on all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. So we got a whole new generation of fans. Now, if you're a 12-year-old boy in 2010, and you are doing a sleepover, and you're in the man cave looking at a 50-inch flat screen of the Blu-ray of Wes Craven's New Nightmare, or of Stephen Hopkins' Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, or of Rennie Harlan's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, or of Freddy vs. Jason, it looks better than it looked in the movie theaters. Consequently, you don't want to see a remake of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1 because you're now rediscovering the whole franchise. So I just think the timing was wrong for that film, and that's why it didn't do as well.
Fair answer. What was your personal favorite out of all the Nightmare on Elm Street that you worked on?
7. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Yeah.
What made New Nightmare better than 1 through 6?
The experience. It was a reunion film, and I had a lot of lunches with John Saxon, and John Saxon touches all of the golden era. So John Saxon for lunch, you get Elvis Presley stories, you get Bruce Lee stories, you get Natalie Wood stories, you get Audrey Hepburn stories, you get Burt Lancaster stories, you get John Huston stories, you get Robert Redford stories, you get Sandra Dee stories, you get Quentin Tarantino stories. It was so great.
Tarantino's got a rival story to what you were telling me about the bars over in Ireland. If I get over there, if you ever get a chance to look it up, look up him on Leno, or I believe it was, and they were talking about going over to Iceland, and I think they brought him in to plug Kill Bill Part 2.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there, and all he wants to talk about is going to Iceland and drinking this liqueur that basically tastes like this small peppermint candy that all the girls love to drink. And basically the whole game is, can you get them drunk enough before and get them back to your hotel before they pass out at the bar?
At the Sitges Festival in Spain, I ran into a great producer of the Jim Jarmusch films, the early Jim Jarmusch films, and he'd moved. He had moved to Iceland, and he was telling me it's pretty. The women, the women, the liquor, and the sunsets there are just phenomenal.
How are you enjoying your stay on Earth, Visitor Willie?
What, here?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it here. I've already got a reservation in Miami for Tuesday night, so I'm having a big time. Yeah, and I like Fort Lauderdale. I have a couple of secret spots here. Apparently, there's a great Cuban restaurant that Jack Shoulder, my Nightmare 2 director, has already found. And I went to a place down by the Channel last time I was here.
Let me know what the name is, I'll verify.
Went down to the Channel last time I was here and had some great Pompano and a great Bloody Mary. So, yeah, I love Fort Lauderdale. My wife loves it. I think she's going to try to hit the Botanical Garden at the Bonnet House.
Good spot. All right, well, I'll give you the open floor. Anything you want to say to anybody?
No, I just listen, here's what I tell my fans, and I'll pimp it this way so you don't think it's just all about me. This book is phenomenal. Nothing to do with me. Never Sleep Again, by the same people that brought you the documentary, which is the best documentary not only on horror and Nightmare on Elm Street and the most thorough, but also the best documentary, one of the best documentaries ever about Hollywood. This book is even better. Polaroids of Johnny Depp late at night putting on my makeup. That's how great this book is. I'm so excited. I'm pimping this, the new season of Penny Dreadful. I love it. Ellen Green can do no wrong. Great, great, great horror, smart horror, brilliantly acted horror, brilliantly mashed up horror. Check it out. And my new movies, again, The Last Showing and Fear Clinic. All done.
Thank you for your time, buddy.
You bitch.